Anyone else excited for the MSMC comeback? Today, we're gonna go over my settings, sensitivities, and HUD together with the loadouts I use in ranked in this season of COD Mobile. I'm just gonna go and run over why my settings are the way they are, how it helps me play COD Mobile, and dominate lobbies. If you want to skip ahead over some parts, you can go ahead and move over to that part of the video. Without further ado, let's get onto my settings. Here are my settings, everything's pretty much the same. One thing I will emphasize is that I have the hide prone button off, so I can use the prone button in my HUD, which I will show you later in a bit. Another thing is having this option off and the ADS button for rotation off. If this is on, every time you scope in using this button, you can drag the finger you use to tap this button to adjust your aim. Let me show you what I mean with the hand cam. You see what I mean? So unless you're using your index finger to aim, turn this off so it won't mess up your aim if you're aiming with your thumb. Nowadays, I have been using tap to ADS for my ADS setting. I have been using hybrid ADS before, but I wanted to stick with only one setting, so that's where I'm at for now. For my sprint sensitivity, I have been using 80% now that I have been stopping and walking for S&D mostly, or whenever I want to sneak around enemies, and that works for me as of now. I still have my gyroscope off, and I don't see myself using it within the next season or two. My camera FOV is currently at 67, and I'm actually working my way up from 65 to 75 because I have been trying to become a more aggressive player because that's what entertaining on YouTube, right? We have to adapt and get more engaging gameplay for you guys. Here are my marker settings. Personally, the best settings for me so I can see the markers without them being distracting. Because I'm using an iPhone 8 Plus and I'm poor, I have my graphics setting on medium so my phone can perform well at max frame rate. I have everything else turned off except the real-time shadow setting so the game wouldn't look too ugly. For the audio settings, nothing special. Music volume turned off and some of the UI and SFX volume reduced just a bit so I can focus more on the game. Turning down the ambient volume also turns down the unnecessary noise you hear depending on the map you play on. Having it completely muted kinda takes you away from the experience, so have it turned down just a bit. For the controls, we don't want to be simple. We want to be on advanced mode so we can do all the tryhard stuff. Here you can see my shooting modes. I have shotguns, snipers, and marksman rifles on hip, and I will explain as we move on to my HUD. The reason why I have some on hip and on ADS is because I have both the ADS to fire button and the hip fire button side by side. I use the ADS to fire button for situations that I have to react fast and do lots of movement in a gunfight. Otherwise, I just manual scope for the most time anyway. For the buttons on the top right, for my movement and scope button, it's all on 150% scale if you wanted to know. It all depends on your finger though. My movement joystick's on 90 if that's all important to you. Nothing special, you can copy it if you want to. This HUD actually works for most people, but not all. Now for the sensitivities, you may have seen my perfect sensitivity video and you may have followed that tutorial. But like I said, that video was just a starting point to find your true perfect sensitivity. So I changed and tweaked my sensitivity since then, but I still have my speed XL set on 140 and it still feels pretty good. I don't use gyro, so don't copy that. Before we go with my loadouts, make sure you tap the like button if you want a settings and loadouts video every season. Keep the likes coming so I know you want more of this type of content. Now for my loadouts, it'll be composed mostly of aggro, ARs, and SMGs because I have been trying to be more aggressive as of late. First one's the Peacekeeper loadout. I use this as an aggressive AR for respawns. I'm using the Annihilator for most of my AR loadouts, so you'll be seeing that one a lot. I use the Sticky Grenade for respawns too because you just throw them around and not worry about it. Thermite is Cancer and I have been enlightened. For my perks, I'm running mostly Lightweight, Quick Fix, and Dead Silence. The combination of these three perks is the best you can run for all modes in my opinion. Here are my attachments for the Peacekeeper. For my second loadout, we have the QQ9. I use this whenever I want to play fast and run around the map without worrying about UAVs. I use a pistol since I won't be needing to take down UAVs since I'm running Ghost as my green perk. This is a sick UC loadout, so I'm using the Equalizer as my operator skill. I love flicking to targets using this operator and I enjoy using it. Here's my QQ9 attachments. This is actually built for range, so you can play versatile with the QQ9. These are the attachments I use for the Deagle. This is the build I used for the SNDA short I posted a few days back. I actually went 18 kills in that game using pistol only. I'm using the Fennec for my third loadout, the best SMG for this season. I run this loadout for extremely tight maps like Summit. I use Quick Fix for SND and Vulture for respawns as my green perk. I may have Thermite as my lethal equipment, but I'm not Cancer, I swear. I also use the concussion grenade as my tactical equipment to blind enemies inside close quarters. I'm using gravity spikes as a panic button in emergency situations when I need it. Here are the attachments I'm using and you can copy it if you want. This is the loadout I use when I feel like being Cancer in ranked. Shotguns are fun to use, but if you get really good with it, it almost feels like it's unfair being able to kill enemies with one pull of a trigger by just aligning your crosshair centered to your target at lethal range. Nonetheless, you can use this to clap enemies close range and is the perfect anti-Fennec or QQ9 in face-to-face gunfights. Now you might have seen this from my previous video, and this one really stuck to me, so it earned a spot in my loadouts. The Pharaoh is the fastest killing SMG statistically. This only works if you have good aim. The Pharaoh shoots 4 bullets per burst and you only need to land 3 bullets. So if you hit the required bullets, congratulations, you deleted the enemy. Here are the attachments, and this basically boosts the range and makes the Pharaoh silenced. For my 6th loadout, it's placed here for good reason. Trust me. This is my speed boost loadout. For this one, it's just essential that you have lightweight and dead silence together with this M4 gunsmith build to enable the speed boost. Just change back to the loadout you need when the speed boost effect is gone. Do not change to grenades or your secondary once you spawned. We move on to my AR classes with AK-47 as my go-to assault rifle when playing ranked. Now my AR classes are more for when I'm playing passive or campy. That's why I have trophy systems and thermites for holding areas. I also play my AR classes to support the team. That's why I run the FHJ as my secondary and the Annihilator as my operator skill. I still run lightweight, quick fix, and dead silence. Sometimes I would run a combination of flak jacket, toughness, and high alert if I want to play super campy. I run everything the same for loadouts 7, 8, and 9, so I'll just show you my attachments for each weapon. Here's my AK-47, my LK-24, and my Man of War. As for my number 10 loadout, we have a sniper loadout. Obviously, you can switch this with other sniper that you want to use, whether that's the DLQ, the Locust, the Outlaw, or even the forgotten Arctic 50. Here are my attachments for the DLQ and the Locust. For future builds or loadouts that may change, make sure you join my Discord server so you can see those and get a sneak peek on my future content. That's it for today's video. Make sure you tap the like button if you want more of the loadouts and settings reveal for every season. For the question of the day, what's your current FOV? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.